Long, long ago, so it is said, the elephant didn't have a trunk. It had only a blackish bulgy nose as big as a boot that he could wriggle about from side to side. He couldn't pick up things with it as elephants do with their trunks today. In Africa, there lived an elephant's child who was always asking questions. He asked his aunt, the ostrich, why her tail feather grew in a particular way. She spanked him with her hard claw. He asked his uncle, the giraffe, what made his skin so spotty, and he got spanked with his uncle's hard hoof. He asked his broad aunt, the hippopotamus, why her eyes were red, and his broad aunt, the hippopotamus, spanked him with her broad hoof. And he asked his hairy uncle, the baboon, why melons tasted just so, and his hairy uncle, the baboon, spanked him with his hairy paw. He asked questions about everything that he saw or heard or feel or smelt or touched, and all his uncles and aunts spanked him, but he didn't lose his curiosity. One fine day he asked a new question. He asked, what does the crocodile have for dinner? Then everybody said, hush, in a loud and dreadful tone, and they spanked him for a long time. Then the elephant's child went to the Kololo bird and said, my father has spanked me, and my mother has spanked me. All my aunts and uncle have spanked me for my curiosity, and I still want to know what the crocodile has for dinner. Then the Kolo bird said with a mournful cry, go to the banks of the great green grassy Limpopo River and find out. That very next morning, this elephant child took 100 pounds of banana, the little short red kind, and 100 pounds of sugar cane, the long purple kind, and 17 melons, the greeny crackly kind, and said to all his dear families goodbye. I am going to the great green grassy Limpopo River to find out what the crocodile has for dinner. And they all spanked him once more for luck, though he asked them most politely to stop. Now our friend the elephant's child has never seen the crocodile. The first creature he found was a bicolored python rock snake curled round a rock. Excuse me, said the elephant's child most politely, but have you seen such a thing as a crocodile? Have I seen a crocodile? Said the bicolored python rock snake. What will you ask me next? Excuse me, said the elephant's child, but could you kindly tell me what he has for dinner? Then the bicolored python rock snake uncoiled himself very quickly from the rock and spanked the elephant child with his scaly tail. That is odd, said the elephant's child, because my father and my mother and my uncle and my aunt, not to mention my other aunt, the hippopotamus, and my other uncle, the baboon, have all spanked me for my curiosity, and I suppose this is the same thing. So he said goodbye very politely to the bicolored python rock snake and helped him coil him up on the rock again and went on a little warm, but all not at all astonished. He kept eating melons and throwing the reed about because he could not pick it up till he trod on what he thought was a log of wood at the very edge of the great green grassy Limpopo River. But it was not a log of wood, it was really the crocodile, and the crocodile winked one eye. Excuse me, said the elephant's child most politely, but do you happen to have seen a crocodile? Then the crocodile winked the other eye and lifted half his tail out of his mud, and the elephant's child stepped back most politely, because he did not wish to be spanked again. Come here, little one, said the crocodile. Why do you ask such questions? Excuse me, said the elephant's child most politely, but my father has spanked me, my mother has spanked me, not to mention my tall uncle the ostrich and my tall uncle the giraffe, my tall aunt the ostrich and my tall uncle the giraffe, who can kick ever so hard, as well as my broad aunt the hippopotamus and my hairy uncle the baboon, and including the bicolored python rock snake with the scaly tail just up the bank, who spank harder than any of them. And so, if it's quite all the same to you, I don't want to be spanked anymore.